your representative. I keep hitting my fucking. Ah! So here I am, getting ready to pick up my baby, my nephew, from school. And so long story short, I've recently learned that an obvious stalker has gone back and activated a number that I had. I've not had access to this number in over a year. I'm going to say like maybe a year and a half to 2 years, maybe. It's been more than 12 months for sure. That they reactivated a phone number, 405-996-0101. And on the surface, it's like, well, anybody can activate a number or reactivate your number once it's been recycled. But when a person takes that number and accesses your Instagram account or any account that you had to put your private information in to start it, an Instagram account had a mailing address in it, it had an email address, it had a debit and a credit card attached to it, it had contacts from my family, from places that I've worked, my children. There's a lot of, and this is my work. This is my, the project of healing that was initiated by several very traumatic incidences that I see now. They are all related, from the relationship to the job to my finances. All of these weird ass phone acting up, weird ass interviews, and I'm looking at people like, you are my boss's husband trying to interview me on a Zoom call. You are the investigator that failed to properly investigate a situation when I worked for an agency, but now you're calling me acting like you are an investigator from another agency, like I don't know your face. And it's like a guy that I actually had a crush on, actually. but like I recognize, so you just gained some weight, but I know who you are. Anyway, so this is the latest one, 405-996-0101. That's considered a cybercrime. It's a cybercrime. Identity theft is in there because you had to pose as me. You know that you are not Tanika. It wasn't Tanika. It wasn't Tanika, because Tanika's right here. And then it made me think, like, what makes people move like that? So somebody tell me, how come I went to log into you have to forgive me, I'm getting over something. Okay, but I need someone to explain to me how I have not had access to Instagram now in a couple of weeks. And I finally decided to do the reset password or forgot password, knowing that there is no way I'm forgetting my password. Is programmed in my phone. It's a very smart phone. But I literally, when I did that, a number 405-996-0101, that's the number that comes up. That Instagram is trying to send a recovery code. So I do my background work, right? And this chick is the name that comes up now under that number. So here I am, literally just trying to figure out, like, why. Because it's like, on one hand, a gentleman obviously was not faithful. I mean, I had this one guy I just learned that was sending me to hairdressers that were cousins and shit to his ex-wife. And I'm just like, just so that you could do what? I mean, you're flaunting what? Because I'm not even that kind of woman. That goes back to the mother. I can tell a lot about where a person comes from by how they move. You understand me? That a woman is insidious behaviors Like I think that the lady and her husband, which obviously would be my ex, one of my exes, is obsessed with me. And there's nothing flattering about that. There's nothing flattering about it. It's actually very disturbing to me. I'm not flattered by it, that someone would get an old phone number and hack into my Instagram account, and they tried to delete my account, y'all. I've already contacted the authorities, and I'm not talking about no Instagram. That's a form of identity theft. You know that you were not ItsTeneca. It's like that's obvious. But then the person like they actually have the name registered to they have the phone registered to their name, and I'm just like, to their real name. And I saw that name in my ex's phone when he was trying to show me something on his phone the last time I saw him. And I was like, Brittany. But because we are not together and haven't been for years, I'm not going to question anything. It just means, but I don't forget shit. That's not my fault that I can't forget. I don't go looking for anything. And I wasn't looking for her. I don't care about no other female. But since I have an audience of people that I get, maybe they know me, even if I don't know them, I just want to encourage you, woman, or it could be a guy too, acting like a female, calling himself Brittany. It could be a guy, because people get down like that. Whoever it is, so that no one is offended, male or female, man. I'll just speak from my own experience. Whenever I got to the point where I started to think about picking up someone's phone to go in it, and that person was not my husband, even with my husband, I feel like I have too much pride and ego that prevented me from doing that. That will always prevent me from doing that. Because the truth is when you are suspicious that there's someone else, your love and respect for yourself, that's the thing that makes you walk away from somebody who is obviously fumbling you. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing to give you that sense of security in a relationship. It doesn't mean that you are necessarily like like you are insecure. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that I do understand. I understand how misplaced trust and people may be throwing it in your face on top of trying to take you for granted, and just playing on your time, playing with this time that they have with you. I can understand how that can cause us to literally just we snap and we break, and then you'll find yourself, well, what is it that's so special about this woman, about Teneca? Let me just see. If you really knew all of my shit, I should have a whole TV network. I am so serious. A network. I can go back to childhood things from whenever I was just a toddler. I am able to recall memories from before I was even born. I've shared it with my mother. Mama, I was there when this happened. And I gave her details about shit that happened that she did not give me, that nobody gave me. Because I thought I was there. I'm talking about it like I was there. She's like, you were in my belly. You were not even born. My parents, one of the dates that they went on, they went to see Grease at Sky, I believe it was the Sky Ranch Drive-In Theater here in the state that I live in. And I don't think that it was Sky Ranch. Was it Star Ranch? It's an old drive-in theater that's in the country where my family used to live. And I know that it came out in 77 or 78. Even if it came out in 78 and they took me in the year 78, I didn't turn 1 year old until 79. But my parents specifically, they didn't take me to the movies in a car seat. I was at the movies with them when I was in there. Anyway, but because of this, this type of memory, my ability to recall memories like that and specific events. I know some of the reasons that we show up the way that we do. I don't think that you are a jealous copycat wannabe. I don't think that. I do think that you've been misguided and misled. I'm also aware of some very disturbing information that it ain't like it just surfaced for me. It's the people that are finally trying to come through and say something. It's like you done sold your soul because you helped out a 33rd degree Mason. This man didn't know if he wanted to be a Christian or if he wanted to worship the demons and call out some of those demonic names. Now you know them all by heart. We are all called to do one thing or another. And I've stopped being mad when the liars show up and they lie, when the cheaters show up and they cheat. I said in a statement before, in one of the videos that I recorded before, that even the demons work for me, that they work for all of us, actually. They work for me in that when I come around someone, just being my authentic self, in this case, we're talking about me surviving a narcissist, a dumbass man that tried to make me think I was crazy when all along he was cheating just like I knew he was. You want to have people, and then the energy is so heavy, doing black magic, it's kitchen magic. It's not even real because you'd have to believe more. But he pulled on the energies of other people who were supposedly divine, who were supposedly touched by God and chosen by God. They don't even really believe in God. They don't believe in or trust or love whoever God is to the world. They only move in the dark shadows. But see, I don't move inconspicuously like that. I live out loud. I trusted people that I'm like, it looks like you got some horns and fangs. Like we can maybe hammer those back in, or as long as you don't be mean to me. That was so silly. It was such a silly idea. But anyway, back to you, imposter. I don't have the intention on pressing charges. You can take your number off of my Instagram account, because it's like that was so sad when I saw that, because I was like, I'm not even trying to make any money. This is a mechanism and a tool that I use to release things that internally I'm sharing, and I'm talking about things. And anybody who comes across my page and my channel, you know, I mean to heal. I mean to positively penetrate you. And that's what one of the X's, and I'm learning that it's even more than that. If you signed for a house in my name, and I've been homeless 3 times in my life as an adult. But there are people who are feeding on. It's like a guy doesn't want to be with me, but he doesn't want me with anyone else. Okay, I'm going to try to make this brief. I keep catching myself getting emotional, and I don't know why. I think it's because I know that this means it's definitely like a close of a chapter between me and someone. Like it's already been closed. But the initial videos that I recorded from like regarding the situation with my identity and with that phone number 405-996-0101, you guys, I went from asking questions to name calling, and apparently it made me emotional, because it ain't nothing like realizing that you done got. But as a healer, as a teacher, as a nurturer, you know, I do try to be careful with my words. You have no idea what it was like being in long-term relationships with people that were literal narcissists. These people are the reason why I know what narcissists are. And when I was telling them about some of the narcissists that helped raise me, and my determination to be nothing like those motherfucking tyrants, to be nothing like them, it's like I can only imagine what that must have sounded like and felt like for my partners that were They were closet haters. Girl, y'all, my hands are shaking. Don't shake hands. Don't shake hands. Where can I put this phone at, y'all? Because I really want to share with you. So anyway, just for me to realize that I was in the company of people who not only did not have my back, but they had malicious intent, and they exercised it by inviting men and women into my house. And I'm going to tell you, because I tread lightly on the topic of closeted men that are in the closet with their sexuality. It doesn't mean that they actually are gay, but they are. My hands are shaking. I'm not saying that they're gay and they're faking like they're heterosexual. I'm saying that they have bisexual tendencies, and which ironically they were with someone. I am a feminine, a divine feminine that I would not have ever shamed anybody. I would probably have helped them with their identity, with their sexuality, where the world is condemning the God who is. Anyway, we'll come back to that part. But my point is that those men were in a very safe place with me. That I'm not one of those ones walking around saying the F word and showing that hyper masculinity that has been coined by African American women like myself. I'm very passionate about inclusivity and about love. For those of you who are religious or even spiritual, whatever and who all ever makes up God, God is love. And God is the author and creator of everything. That means the sanctified good in you holy ones, sacrilegious holy ones, the saints. And God also created the pleasure that produced other than heterosexual, anything that falls outside of heterosexuality. And so anyway, I found myself just having a very emotional response, and I am still emotional about it, but I want to level with the person who felt whatever they felt to the point. Hi, baby. Hi, mommy. Yeah. Who felt whatever they felt. This is going to sound bad. I just need some privacy. Can I have like 10 minutes? Yeah. What, baby? What were you going to say? What were you going to say?
I was going to say, can I heat up my food?
Yes, ma'am. Come and heat your food up.
Are you hungry?
Yeah, I can come back to this. Pause, y'all. So I've actually been sitting here really just trying to figure out how I'm going to say what I'm trying to say. And it's not coming as easy as I thought it was going to come. As I've been sharing, I try to share in a way where I'm not condemning anyone. I am very conscious that we are all on our own paths and we're all moving at our own frequency, at our own pace, at our own pace, at our own pace. So I recorded like several times, like the shortest video was like 25 minutes. And then the longest one was like 57 minutes. And there were several of those, all because I went from like asking questions to, then I just had one that was just a whole blowout. I was saying a bunch of bitches and hoes and a bunch of other terms that I don't even ordinarily use. And that's all coming from ego. But now that my ego has had a chance to chill the fuck out, right? There's a reason why these people have come into my stratosphere. You've gotten just close enough to where you could be intrigued by me, and then you could become disgusted by me, like on some too good to be true shit, or we'll see if this can make you see if you still smell after this, bitch. I've seen it all. And then when you regretfully tear up the connection between me and you, this is from my female friends, and the intimate connections with some of the men that I thought I had, I was just a part of their show. And I meet guys telling them, hey, I just know that you can have as much space as you can handle. And the moment that you decide you don't want to be with me, just let me go. Don't make me a part of your his and her show with you and your ex, or you and your ex fake baby mama that's not even your real of your children, okay? And they usually know it. Whenever that goes down, these are people who are choosing to be locked in a soul tie connection with each other. And I am not one of those. I am not one. You need to really be thinking about what happens after this, because that definitely, obviously has everything to do with what you're doing right now. And I am aware of some of the rumors that have spread about me being a homewrecker and being a hoe. And the people who spread those rumors didn't know shit about me, because if they did, they would feel so fucking stupid. You would feel so stupid. So stupid, and definitely called out now that I am actually exercising my right to speak and using my voice in a way that completely exposes your lying ass. There are some of us who succumb to our scars, some of us young women and men who were molested and raped as children, as young people, who we were womanizer magnets, who we decided to become the thing that made us, that hurt us, that gave us our scars. There are some of us who very consciously, I choose love and I choose to walk upright. And I don't mean according to the Christian faith or according to the Buddhist faith or according to the Muslims or according to anyone. Everyone has just a general scale that balances things, that balances that excuse me, it balances that I think he's here. I'll be right back. Anyway, oh my God. Okay, anyway. And so one of the things that I found myself saying on a very regular basis is I was pleading for myself, for my sanity. I was pleading for, I was saying shit like, you about to turn me. I'm not going to let you turn me. I'm not going to let you turn me mean, to the point where I'm hateful. I'm hateful. Like the worst that I let myself slide in a household when I shared a dwelling with men that we were in supposedly long-term exclusive committed relationships, was not going to be cooking for you. I am very submissive and dutiful. I love to winch on a man. I'm very nurturing and I cater. I was doing little shit like, I know that he's getting ready for work and he's about to get in the shower, or he's already taken a shower, and I was doing shit like setting the toothpaste on his toothbrush, dipping that shit in baking soda. Just very accommodating. And I love being like that. That wasn't hard for me. And that's just an example. That's not even anything big. We ain't talking about the people who had bank accounts that I cleared up. I gross and net less than them. I don't earn what they earn financially, but I'm trying to hold them down and help them rebuild. You got divorced and you had a short sale and you had a bank account that went to hell, and those things were on one guy's credit. I took that off. One guy had several fucked off bank accounts and I paid that. Meanwhile, at the time I had unpaid debt of my own. But again, we're supposed to be lifting each up and building each other up. And just because a person is down when you meet them, I listen to your story. I listen to what you tell me, how you ended up where you were at. And one came out and told me, right before he met me, he had just lost a job that he had only had for a year, which he had that job for a year after basically being homeless, after he lost everything, lost his wife, lost their home. Hold on, let's back up. Married the woman, helped put her through school so that she could become what she became. Not just going to put all their shit out there so no one can say that they've been singled out. And this is on repeat too. These build a bitch ass relationships. This is why people have some of the standards that they have and are strict in the way that they are, where they're just like, I meet you expecting scrutiny and judgment and condemnation, when really I thought I was meeting you as a person. I thought that you could get to know me and you'll see for yourself, if we spend any degree of time together, I'm not like where you came from, and I am worth the investment of your time and the investment of your trust and the investment of the security that comes when two people come together. I'm worthy of that. That I'm not going to play with you. I'm not going to play with your money or play off your time. I'm not going to play with both of our health by indulging and engaging in relationships external to us. I'm not going to embarrass the shit out of you. Because, man, you can get with some people that will embarrass the shit out of you. Will have you the laughing stock. This one had somebody drop him off like a couple of blocks from where we lived at. And this is my intuition is waking up. Me realizing, okay, I don't know why I just came outside. I ain't like I was looking for him. But I see you walking up from the store. When you got a ride, you didn't even call me to come pick you up. Like, why would you have someone drop you off? But because of the way I was raised by real men and women, a man that's getting a ride home, and he chooses to not be dropped off right in front of the apartment, not right in front of the house. There's a layer of security. A woman, we ain't got to understand it as a woman. I don't have to understand why you move, how you move. I'm giving you the trust. I'm letting you I'm letting you do what men do. And men move like God quite often in mysterious ways and shit. And I allow it. Like, if that's what you need, that's what you think you needed to do to protect me in this house, to protect your privacy and your security. I'm thinking also that you could have just let me come and pick you up in a car that you are paying for, or that we are paying for, or that I am paying for. That way you don't have to move like that. Because I'm honored to come and get you. But anyway, so as I'm going through all of these things, it's just a whole timeline of me realizing what all has been sabotaged and tainted, and what the motivation would have been, whether it's from a male or a female, or from a couple who basically, this is one of those women or one of those people, male or female, you were obviously engaged and involved with someone who met me, and he came for me. He pursued me for a relationship, because I promise you I ain't pursuing no damn body. I used to struggle really, really bad, really terribly with self-worth. And even though I know that I am a queen and a goddess in my own right, I had a lack mentality, because it was just one thing after another, after another, after another. And when I think back, this is all stemming from people who did what they did to fumble me. You lost me. And could not fucking believe it, could not fathom that I would have the audacity to leave, and leave you just as honorably as I was when you met me. I left every person that I've been with the goal is to leave everything and everyone better than they were before you met them. That means that I'm not going to ever tear you down while I'm with you. There are men that I've been with that I never talked about their fucking wrinkles. I never talked about the pimples that they had all over their whole body. I never talked about their general body odor, that some of them I actually did not like at all. But I was like, hey, I don't know how your pheromones, I don't know what your body chemistry is, or why you are producing the odor that you are. Not that anyone smelled musty or anything like that, but you know what I'm saying? I just, I'm abundant with that consideration and with that empathy. I don't come from those women who they make it by using men and manipulating. I represent the women, when your mother and your grandmother that ended up as single mothers, or even those that were married, that they still had to move and conduct themselves like single mothers because their husbands maybe had uniformed careers, They may have been police officers. They may have been service members. They may have been oil field workers. They may have been railroad men. These women know how to build a home, how to make a home. Those are the shadows that I came up in. So I know how to keep a house. I know how to cook. I know how to sew. I know how to preserve the bank account so that we're not stretching and missing bills. I am just very selective. I'm very selective on who I give that to, because everybody is not worthy of that. And I know that. Just because a guy says that he loves me or that he even likes me, no, I'm not going to roll out the fucking red carpet and become the submissive, dutiful wife. I'm going to show you that she's in there for the right person, and hope that you take care of your business. And I've never been one to ignore my intuition to the point where I'm going to at least ask a question. Why are you in the bathroom for so long and with your phone? Because I'm raising children. I'm raising young people. And I've told them what that looks like and what it alludes to. And that's them. They're single, right? So why are you getting off at 6 o'clock and not making it home until 8 and we live less than 15 minutes from your job? Why did you feel the need to leave at 3 o'clock in the morning to go and get milk after I had spent $300 plus of your own money to put organic food and non-GMO food in the house, including whole milk? And we also had 2% milk. Why did you need to leave at 3 o'clock in the morning and your phone didn't come back on? Oh, and you were gone for more than an hour, and the store that you went to is right up the street at 3 o'clock in the morning, like 7-Eleven, Piggly Wiggly, something weird like that. I'm just saying. The majority of the arguments that I was having with some of these people was about me calling out their shit. Like, okay, yeah, we're here, and I'm grateful that you're here. Okay, we're working. You're working. You don't want me to work? I'm not going to work. Okay, thank you for that. I get to stay home and actually focus on raising my children. I got to become the booster mom, the PTA mom. But guess what? I was that before I met any of these men. I was that when I was by myself. I was that when their father half-ass wanted to pay me child support, when the child support went from $900 to $147 because he had the money for an attorney and I didn't. Just like after I left one of the agencies that I left here in the last couple of years, and I know that I had a case for wrongful termination, even though I live in a state where it's at will. Well, if you give me a reason for why you're terminating me and it's wrong, I know that I could have gotten an attorney and come after your shit and wouldn't have had to work for several years. But you know what I did? I focused on picking myself up, just like I did after both of my divorces. Didn't ask those gentlemen for anything. And I know for a fact that I was and am still entitled to, I don't have to do shit but get the right attorney and sit back and watch this shit unfold on itself. Unfold on itself. That's not what's in my heart, though. Those men, and I'm not just talking about my ex-husbands. If you're an ex in my life, you're an ex because you showed me that you could not fucking be trusted. You could not be trusted. Any of the men that I've been with in the past, that is their biggest, if they can be honest, nobody can say, well, she cheated on me, she took my money, she played in our money, we stayed behind on bills. No, the fuck we didn't. You are a liar. Hell, I had one that I was traveling across the world, literally across the world, and a piece of luggage came up missing and checks were written. Now, mind you, I've never been one to go to our bank account and just give myself the allowance, because I had to have purses and shoes and name brand clothing, or I had to go out to dinner several times a week, or we had to go on a family trip at least, at least once a year. None of that. None of that. You know why? Because I came up just poor enough. Just poor enough. Not only do I not have the taste for that shit, I don't even have the desire. Let me show you something. Baby, this bag is super freaking cute. And it's actually of a really good quality. I don't know if you can see this material. It's of a really good quality. This bag was $4 on Shein. This hair in my hair, I do my own hair, but I bought this hair and it costs under $80. Maybe even under 60 for this hair that I have washed and reused 3 times now. I am frugal. The typical things that drive men to cheat and to step out and to even to vent to their family members and co-workers. The men that I've been with, they didn't have any of that. Them motherfuckers had to pull straws. They had to make straw man arguments to talk about me at work, to talk about me to their fucking families, to talk about me to their mistresses, male and female mistresses. They had to make up shit about me. One guy tried to, he thought I was so sleep, y'all. He thought I was so fucking sleep. I'm serious. This man, I did our laundry. We didn't have a washer and dryer in our home that we had. Never mind if it was a house, a townhome, duplex, apartment, whatever it was, hut. He tried to tell me that, because he went to go and get some clothes out of the dryer. I had put the clothes in the washer. No, I put the clothes in the washer. That's right. No, I put the clothes in. I washed it and dried, and all he had to do was get the clothes out of the dryer. This man, when I called him a couple of hours later after I got to work, it was like, babe, your clothes will be done in the dryer by this time. I had to be at work at like 7. He didn't have to be at work until like 9 or 9:30, something like that. So I'm telling him, hey, I fell asleep last night and the clothes that were in the washer are now in the dryer, but I had to be at work at 7. So this is in the 6 o'clock hours, between 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm telling this man, you know, you can go down there, please, and get your clothes. And ordinarily, I had everything folded, drawers and socks included. Okay. But on this particular day, he had to go and get his own. And so when I called him, he didn't answer me before 9. And I'm like, well, I'm just trying to make sure that you up and ready for work. I kept calling. And then the man, hold on just a second. Anyway, and so I'm telling the guy, I absolutely hate nosy people, guys. Because like even once you know, what are you going to do with the information once you know? Quit being fuzzy. I can tell the people that never got slapped in the mouth for standing around the corner. Like this one in-law that came to the family that brought her daughter. Her and her daughter are nosy as fuck. And they stayed alienated from the whole family because they kept showing that they were nosy. Stealing from motherfuckers. Stealing from my grandmother. Stealing from aunties. Stealing from my own mother. Just stealing shit and lying. Trying to sow seeds of doubt. And they kept fucking getting busted. You know when they stopped getting busted? When my uncle divorced him. He cut a bitch loose. That's when they stopped getting busted for doing shit. And these are people that I actually embraced. The whole family took turns. Like this one cousin, she had a ringworm in her hair when we were just, before we even were teenagers. And the whole family treated this girl and her mother like they were so dirty. Like they were so, you know, we all know that children go to school and they play in sand with other kids. They play in the dirt. They use other kids' comb and brush. A lot of different reasons can result in you ending up with a condition like that. But it made the young lady have a bald spot. Now, this is during a time when people made it seem like when it wasn't in to be dark skinned. And mind you, I'm one of the only people in my family that look like me. It's not a lot of light skinned people. So everyone is dark. And this particular in-law was super dark. Her and her daughter, absolutely fucking stunning, flawless skin. Just beautiful women. Beautiful. This lady came to our family when her daughter was like between 6 and 9 or some shit like that. I don't know. But I'm just saying that my mother embraced them and treated them like she treated them like they were blood relatives. And so because of that, me and my sisters treated them like they were blood relatives. And then she had a son. She had a child for my family member. And the family used to talk shit about him, saying that he was the blackest one in the whole family, saying he was the fattest one in the whole family, talking about his condition. Whatever his condition was, I saw whenever they were not really being embraced in love. And my mother never, ever veered from showing them 100% authentic love. And me and my sisters did the exact same. They have a whole history of just doing shady shit. Like the one doesn't even realize that I saw, because my daughter is a performer here in the city that we live in. Well, she used to be. Her feelings got so hurt after what I'm going to tell you. One of these idiots reached out to her on Instagram, which I'll get back to my Instagram issue. We'll come back to that. But one of these people reached out to her on Instagram and pretended to be like a producer, like an old white man who was interested in investing in my daughter. And as soon as my daughter showed me that shit, I was like, it's not that you're not worthy of that. And it's not that you're not a good enough artist, that you don't deserve that attention and that type of opportunity. I just want to vet this fool and make sure that he is what he says he is. And all I did, I just started by looking up the phone number. That's the very first thing that was still registered to that fucking in-law. And I'm like, and this is after my uncle done divorced this bitch. Ben done divorced her. When I say I'm sitting on so much information, people that I know in my family that are involved in the occult, but will go and sit right next to your ass in church, give an offering in Lord, excuse me, will partake in and indulge in the Lord's Supper, which is usually on the first or the last day of last Sunday of the month. I believe it's the first Sunday of the month. But knowing that they wicked on the inside. Wicked. They use the occult just like they were trying, like if they knew how to use Christianity, they would use the occult for the same purposes, just for dark. Did you know that you can use these tools, you can use your spirituality to help and heal people? And the fact that for the people who decide to do bad or so-called evil with it, to manipulate for their own personal gain, that comes from an unhealed place. That actually is not your nature. It's not your nature. Nobody is born with just a take mentality. Somewhere in there was something that you wanted that you didn't get, that you never ever accepted no for. You never accepted why you couldn't get it. You never accepted the journey. Well, I can't have it now, but I'll have it later, or I can get it later, so my dad can get it for me later. Anyway, I could have gone to that in-law. I could have gone to my uncle and told on his, because I'm like, hey, the phone is registered to your wife, your ex-wife. I never confronted that family. I never confronted that auntie, even after she came to my house and I did her hair, and that I was with someone who acted a complete fucking ass, tried to have an argue with me in front of her, when right before that I had just finished giving him a massage in our bedroom. Wanted to have a whole argument with me in front of her, and I'm like, I'm not going to let myself talk, because that's the same one of the same aunties I was telling you that she came into our family. She knew me in my youth. She knew me when back in the day when I was, you got me fucked up, Tanika. The Tanika that will not talk, but I will swing on your ass in a heartbeat. That, but looking back, yeah, you knew him. Yes, she knew him. That's why her daughter was looking stupid. Later when we ended up working together several times in this lifetime, looking like you got caught with your pants down because you and your mom are of the same mind, you dirty ass bitch. That's a bitch. See, that's the thing when it comes to these slurs, when people like, all that I'm saying is, what would you have to feel within yourself that it's not enough that you see my information in someone's phone, or that someone has shared my information compromising me. That's not enough for you to know it. That you went and hijacked a social media account. You committed a federal crime that is a cyber crime. Punishable. It's a cyber crime. Then you can be charged with stalking also. And then obviously the man who is obviously between both of us, however many of us there are, that's certain death to a career for him. It's certain death to social media groups. To social groups and networking that you may have webbed up and strung up for yourselves to hold yourselves up. But like, you could not just be comfortable together, or be comfortable just leaving me alone, whoever you are. I know what the phone number says you are when I looked it up using my own tools. I'm like, oh really? Somehow a number that I haven't used in almost 2 years is being used. And also, that's to anyone else. If you have received any solicitation from 405-996-0101, it is not me. From any number. I haven't asked anyone for any money. I have been out here struggling by myself, just trying to be a big girl, It's a lot of stuff that's gone down, and what really is baffling more so than some of the events that have taken place are all the people who would have had to knowingly watch it all go down, knowing that it was a farce. Is that the true evil in the world? Is that what it really is? That's the evil being fair seeming, where it doesn't have anything to do with me, so I'm not going to say anything. There are a lot of people who watched my life be intentionally sabotaged. Intentionally. It's happened twice that I go to get a job and I wasn't allowed to because Deers still showed me married to someone that I hadn't been married to in 15 years. So that prevented me from starting a job like way past the start date. That happened twice where I was hired to make more than $25, $35 an hour. And then when I actually take the position after I get my ID, then I go and